Okay, 2016 resolution. If you care at all about your photography, consider one thing. I know I've done like a billion lens reviews, camera reviews, more lens reviews, and more lens reviews. Intermingled amongst there, obviously, is a lot of lighting reviews about various devices, and people like, okay, yeah, it's lighting. Yeah, what about lenses? If you're going to make any resolution to actually improve your photography, not only is it a lot cheaper than a good lens, I mean, for the price of one really awesome lens, you could basically have all the lighting you'd ever need. Say one $1,000 lens, which is, of course, like a used Zeiss lens. That's what a used one will cost you. Consider spending a couple bucks, and I'm not about anybody spending money. I mean, I've shown you like all sorts of things. Now, I didn't invent this one, obviously, but some of the devices that I've actually invented, like using fiber optics and reflectors, and my neat little device over here, which is just like the coolest shit since sliced bread. My macro snoot lets you stick it on a speed light, put on your camera, and use your macro lens for taking really awesome illumination. Just uses a simple translucent piece of tracing paper and a Mylar reflector, and makes incredible light. A lot of most of professional photography really is about being a magician. They say magicians work with smoke and mirrors, but you're using mirrors also. You're working with smoke and light and mirrors and time. I mean, your camera's a time machine, of course. It sees things that the human eyes don't see. You have to be able to perceive that. What if I drop the shutter speed and do a time exposure? What if I use rear curtain sync? What do I use front curtain sync? Start thinking about illumination. Stop thinking so much about, I gotta have an f1.2 lens because the f5, you'll crank out 100 times more shots by having good lighting and some good skills at how to use that lighting than you will by having these ultra fast lenses. Photographers got by for 50 years without f1.4s and 1.8s and f2 lenses. Cranked out some really amazing shots. Don't need that. Obviously, it's necessary for a lot of stuff, and having it is better than not having it. Not denying that, but instead of spending $500 more on that next lens, which is f1.4 instead of f2, how about you buy the f2 lens and then take that remaining $500 or $600 and buy some serious lighting? Wireless triggers. Duh! Some sync cables, used ones, the cheap ones I've been telling you about for $15. Duh! Number 2. Duh! Number 3. A studio strobe with the power pack. There's duh! Number 3. Light mods. The really simple ones, the one that cost like $1.50 a piece to make, or less than that, while you're scratching your ass in the middle of the evening watching reruns of NCIS or whatever the hell it is you watch. That is if you actually do want to improve your photography. If you don't give a crap, then you don't give a crap, and that's understandable too. But I got 2 of them here. I don't know why I have 2 of them, because they're so awesome, obviously. There are some things in lighting that are really, really versatile. There's absolutely nothing more versatile than this sucker. Is it kind of ugly? Yeah, it kind of is. Well, maybe. It's actually very lightweight. 2 half-moon xenon tubes creates a ring light. You can use it as a reflector, like a regular studio strobe, as a portable modeling light, like the folks over at Model Mayhem will tell you about ring lighting. There's a lot of really cheap ring light possibilities that you can make yourself, but they can't kick out serious light. I mean, this is not lighting. You're talking about some honking xenon strobes with a bank of capacitors behind it that'll just blind your ass. So you can really toss some serious light out there, and that's important. That is actually very important. You're able to dial it down or dial it up. Be able to crank out some serious lighting is very important. So, lighting, sync cables, light mods, mentally training yourself as far as where you need to place lighting, and if you place something here and a reflector over there, what will that do? If I use a diffusion filter here and I use a reflector here, and I'm using the ambient light behind my main subject, and I use a reflector, kind of like the Omega reflector over there, what will that do? Now here's something for consideration. Okay, I got $700 or $800 saved up for a really awesome lens. if you want to improve your photography rather than having a really impressive lens to boast about, I mean, you could save up for the lens later. What would $700 get you? It gives you an ABR 800 that'll let you, rock it. Just crank the crap out of everything. And like an Omega reflector, and like a Vagabond portable pack that lets you use this completely, untethered to anything. Got the battery pack on your shoulder like a purse. You're packing this around your neck with your camera shooting in between it. This Omega reflector and like 2 or 3 $15 light stands. And you still got a couple $150. Well, the other $150. Drop that on a couple sync cables, SC17 sync cables, and some cheap Chinese wireless triggers if you want. I'd actually prefer, if you want to go the cheap route, and I've got some too, like $150 will buy you a 2-pack of the Pocket Lizards, the Plus X. They have the Plus X ones instead of the Plus 3 transceivers. So those are $70 a piece if you want to get really good, reliable ones. So, if you're going to save up, try to consider that for 2017. You see all these shots, so you go on Flickr, it's like, oh, that guy's using the same camera and lens that I've got. I kind of shot in the same lighting situation before. Why the hell does that shot look so... Lighting! Obviously what defines a professional photographer is composition, compositional skills, and expert with light manipulation. But not light manipulation specifically in totality, referring to what the hell you can do with your camera, which of course is obviously incredibly important. Aperture mode, aperture priority, and be able to determine what it is you need to do. So you got 2 premises of professional photography. An expert with composition and light manipulation. But part of that light manipulation is not on the side of the camera. It's all this crap out here. And that crap out here that I'm talking about is in the overall scheme of things, compared to a freaking lens and a nice camera, it's just a freaking nice lens, one single nice lens, lot cheaper, $400, $100, $200 power pack, 2 like used SB28 speed lights for $50 a piece. Some of those SC17 flash cables, $15 a piece. So consider the next lens that you buy to be a pile of that stuff, because that will improve your your photography will be so good. I've had people report back to me on this. They got one of these, and he's even emailing me today. Like a Vagabond Mini power pack. He's just your photography goes from this to this, and it had nothing to do with the camera or buying another camera or another lens. It had to do with understanding light and adding light, and your lenses and your sensors feed off of light. And Mother Nature and these halogen lights and all this crap, and so indoor, that doesn't cut it. You gotta have the light. You gotta bring it. Obviously landscape photographers, that doesn't do them any good. Or long distance wildlife photographers, it doesn't really do them much of any good. But for 95% of everybody else out there, you gotta bring the light. BTL. And that's like the biggest open secret of photography that nobody gets. Every professional's like, oh god, there's a guy with 100 lenses and 2 pro cameras, and he's got no lighting. He's got no lighting. So please, God, take that into consideration as a resolution for 2016, because that is where you be screwing up, and basically everybody else does too. Thanks for watching all this video, and drop me a buck or two. Catch you later. Happy New Year, all that crap. Bye.